Good afternoon and welcome back to Council Chamber. Did everybody enjoy their lunch? I know I did, yeah. Now I'm trying to stay awake. Y'all are going to be so interesting. You're going to keep us all awake, okay? And at this time, I am going to turn the meeting over to the Council President.
This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. Ms. Nordgren, please do roll call.
Akintanya. Here. Russo.
Here.
Hoyt. Here. Hogan.
Here.
Rudolph.
Present.
Cross.
Present.
Kelly. Here. We have a quorum. This meeting is open for business. Councilwoman Kelly will lead us in the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Bow your heads, please. Lord, we thank you for this day, for this is the day that you have made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Boatner, will you please present the proclamations?
Whereas this 21st day of April, I proclaim this day Anthony Hill Day in the city of Gadsden. Gadsden City High School lost a special young man, and he will forever be remembered in our hearts. Let's take a moment of silence in honor of Anthony Hill. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Nolan Boatner, Mayor of the City of Gadsden, by virtue of authority vested in me, proclaim this day Anthony Hill Day in the City of Gadsden. Whereas this 21st day of April, I proclaim this day Honorary Veterans Day in the City of Gadsden. This day is to acknowledge all the men and women in Gadsden and Etowah County for their years of service and dedication to our country. The City of Gadsden expresses sincere gratitude for your efforts at home and abroad. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Nolan Boatner, Mayor of the City of Gadsden, by virtue of authority vested in me, recognize and salute veterans and proclaim this day Honorary Veterans Day in the City of Gadsden. Whereas this 21st day of April, I proclaim the month of May the Class of 2015 month in the City of Gadsden. The month of May will be set aside to honor the seniors of Gadsden City High School and wish them well in their future endeavors. Also, asking all the restaurants to give the senior class members 50% off all food during this month. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Nolan Boatner, Mayor of the City of Gadsden, by virtue of the authority vested in me, recognize and salute seniors and proclaim May the Class of 2015 month in the City of Gadsden. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there any unfinished business?
None.
Ms. Kelly, please read the first ordinance.
Teen Rager Center. The city would sponsor a place for teens ages 16 to 19 on Friday and Saturday nights. The city would seek to rent the Pittman Theater or renovate a building. The venue would include live bands, DJs, karaoke, painting, etc., with themed dress-up days also. It would be a safe place for teens to come and enjoy themselves with their own age group.
This ordinance is open for discussion. You want to go ahead, Rudolph?
How will we fund this?
We could ask different businesses in the city of Gadsden to help fund. In exchange, we could do advertisements for them or team up with them in some type of way. And also, they could help us maybe get some interesting things for the children, teenagers to do.
Who would provide security for this place?
We could ask police officers, or we could seek other types of security, like private security. Any other comments? Cross?
Police chief, what do you suggest?
Any other comments? Hawkinson?
How much will we charge per teenager?
Earlier we discussed, like $2 to $3 would be a reasonable price, or have like certain offers, such as like a wristband for, a little higher price and have some kind of perk of getting the wristband and paying a little more. Yes, Mayor?
Is this something that teens actually want and would come to? I mean, is there buzz about this? Do people want this, is what I'm trying to say.
Kelly?
I feel like this is wanted. Police officers wonder why kids and teenagers are sitting in parking lots on the weekends, so I feel like this would be something interesting for them to be able to do.
Will they be checking ID at the door, like to keep it just teenagers there?
In this ordinance, we said 16 to 19. So if you're 16 years old, you most likely have a driver's license or some type of identification. So we could ask for an ID at the front just to make sure the specific age group is in the building. Any other comments? Okay, our next ordinance is the drive-in movie theater. We could invest in a drive-in theater that will allow citizens to watch movies from their automobiles. It would attract people of all ages and certainly pay cost of construction and future profits. This ordinance is open for discussion. Mayor?
From where are we going to draw the initial funds to construct a drive-in movie theater?
We could always ask for some sort of help, like a bond, or get something granted towards us, because a lot of people in the city of Gadsden might go to adjacent towns, such as like go up to Sand Mountain for a drive-in movie theater, and so all of that revenue is going elsewhere when we could have one in the city. Mayor?
Where would we put this drive-in movie theater?
I'm sure we could find land somewhere. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Any other comments? Kelly?
There used to be an old movie theater where Super Bocce is right now, so maybe
Somewhere behind there.
somewhere.
We can figure out if that's a, well, there's kind of like, there used to
Actually,
be.
you would want a more secluded area because
Yeah.
you have to.
There's a lot of vacant farmland in like North Gadsden, I'd say, and that'd be a good location to look at.
Sinha?
What about the environmental issues that would host if you decided to use farmland?
We could have certain rules, such as, pertaining to trash or other things that might pose a threat to the environment or some kind of problem, because obviously if there are drive-in theaters, they have precautions and rules and they work out, so. Any other comments? Ms. Hoyt, please read the next one.
City-sponsored tutoring program at all recreation facilities, whereas the youth spend a lot of time after school playing in recreation centers. Tutoring would be a great way to help those kids who need additional help in math, science, reading, and English become better students. Therefore, an appointed time of 3:15 to 4:15 will be set aside for tutorial assistance. Tutorial assistance will be mandatory during the school year only.
This ordinance is now open for discussion. Kelly?
Would this be volunteer or paid workers?
Volunteer, it's only an hour.
I'm sure we could find volunteers. We discussed pulling them from our own school system, such as the National Honor Society does tutoring already within our schools. We could partner up with someone like that. Or I'm sure like there are people that would want to volunteer and help the youth. Rudolph?
For the time being, from 3:15 to 4:15, how would you get the players like in tutoring, like people that play sports, like, cause they have practice, like, you know what I'm saying, from 2 to on in later time. So how would you get them tutoring how they need it?
Well, if it's year-round, unless you play multiple sports, you will have a little flexibility on your off-season, I'm assuming, or we could come up with some other solution. Boatner?
What age group is this specifically for? Is it all ages or just elementary or high school?
I think that we discussed elementary through high school, and in high school, majorly targeting like ACT prep, and then obviously the younger grades, just single subjects that they need assistance in. Okay, Tanya?
Will the tutors be high school students, college students, or teachers?
I guess we could pull from any of those, honestly. I mean, just depending on who is able to volunteer or who's willing.
I know people going into education in Jacksonville State, and that they have to take some sort of class where they'll have to go out and tutor, and they'll have to do that in order to get the credit, so that'd be a good.
So we can make it known to them, and they could help. Mayor, did you have any comments?
Well, I mean, if these are volunteers, how are we going to know how credible they are in the certain subject they're teaching or tutoring in?
We could provide incentives for them, since we're not paying them a check.
Well, no, but how are we going to know that they know what they're talking about, that they're not just, you know?
I mean, if they're National Honor Society members and they're college students, they should know what they're talking about.
Kelly?
Yeah, I just feel as if, like, they had a resume or
Yeah, it could be
Some
like a hiring process.
credible experience.
Any other comments? Okay, Mr. Rudolph, please read the next ordinance.
Teen curfew abolished. The current teen curfew is not necessary, therefore get rid of it. Parents will be responsible for setting hours for curfew, and they will be accountable for where their children are after dark.
This ordinance is open for discussion. Akasanya?
How do we enforce this?
We were already saying that this is not heavily enforced. How many of you actually know someone that's been reprimanded for the teen curfew? Raise your hand. Anyone? Just a couple? Do you want to talk?
I would like to ask the police chief how many of those that they have every year. How many instances of a teen curfew violation do y'all have every year?
Not many, just we come in contact with a couple, but not many.
My argument would be that if these teenagers are already getting in trouble or they're having to be pulled over or talked to for some reason, then they're probably violating something already that's not the curfew. And just because you're out at a certain hour does not necessarily mean that you're getting into trouble.
If we still had a curfew, what if they were stopped before they were going to get in trouble? So, I mean, they could be going to go do something bad and get stopped, and the police call their parents and they go home before it happens.
Well, in the ordinance itself, it said that parents should be responsible for where their children are, and even though they can't control everything their child does, I do think that it is up to the parents to mostly know where their children are, what time they're out. Any other? Okay, Sonia?
If the parents are held responsible, how do we give consequences to the parents?
Say it.
How would you enforce a consequence on someone if you're saying there's no curfew at all?
Exactly.
That's true.
The curfew would be abolished, so there would be no consequence other than maybe if you're out doing something illegally, you would have to call your parents, and they could take it from there.
Why are we removing the curfew? What's the purpose?
Because we're saying that not enough people are affected by it, that it's not even necessary, because if they're doing something wrong that already, they're not getting stopped because they're out at a certain time, they're getting stopped for another reason or like reprimanded for another reason.
If you just removed the barrier in itself, that would encourage more kids to go out late at night?
What we were saying is that not even that many people actually know about it, because I wasn't aware of the actual hours.
Exactly. So if you make this widely known, then more people are going to be aware about it, and then more people are going to go out later.
But you're not that type of student
No,
that's
I'm
trying to keep from being out.
That's true. Rudolph?
Statistics show that 95% of teens are out past teen curfew anyway.
And I believe that because I'm sure the majority of the teenagers in this room right now are out past the curfew on weekends and they didn't know it. Because, is it 12 on the weekends?
Yes, indeed.
If it's 11, then we're definitely probably all out past our curfew.
And most parties end at 12 anyway.
I
So,
think it's 10 on weekdays, or 10.
11 and 12 on the weekend.
See, we don't even know.
I think we need to know more about the teen curfew before we abolish it.
If not many people are affected, by this, this law, then what's the point of abolishing it, you know? I mean.
well, then
it's
what's
not-
the
it's not
point of
gonna hurt
having it?
anybody.
Yeah.
You need it because
Russo?
you can stop it before it happens.
Okay, so obviously, it's not very put out there that, you know, you can get in trouble for it. Most people don't even know what time, you know, we can get in trouble for being out, or teens can get in trouble for being out. But I'm just saying, you shouldn't, if you didn't do anything that bad to get pulled over, you shouldn't get in trouble and have to go home because you're out past curfew.
I make a motion to suspend the rules and make a vote on this.
I second that.
Ms. Nordgren, will you please do a roll call to see if we can vote?
All right, all who wants to suspend the rule, say aye. Akinsanya,
Aye.
Russo,
Aye.
Hoyt. Okay.
Nay.
Do you want to vote on it? We're just doing vote to vote. Aye. Yeah.
I'm not voting aye. I don't agree with it.
No,
No, we're saying aye to vote, so we can vote on it.
to vote. Okay. Hogan,
Aye.
Rudolph,
Aye.
Cross,
Aye.
Kelly.
Aye.
We had.
I think she thought that we were like
We're
actually
suspending
voting
the
on
rule
it.
so then we can vote on it to keep it or not.
This is just a vote to
We have
vote.
to have a unanimous
Yeah.
vote to vote on it.
If it's a vote to suspend the rules, then one person can stop the consideration of it. So if you say, if your vote is no, then it ends there. You can't actually take a vote.
Okay, so I guess.
So,
My vote is no.
All right, so.
okay, I guess we're not voting on that one.
We are not voting on that, so that is out.
Okay,
On to the next one.
Councilman Russo, please read the next ordinance.
I'm proposing to revise the smoking ordinance. As of right now, the smoking ordinance states that you can't smoke inside or within 20 feet of a business. This includes cigarettes and e-cigarettes. I'm proposing that we make it legal to smoke e-cigarettes outside of businesses and keep cigarettes illegal within 20 feet of a business. I'm defending the people's right to smoke e-cigarettes and also businesses that lose customers because of this ordinance.
This ordinance is open for discussion. Mayor Boatner?
Mr. Russo, how old are you?
I'm 17.
Just my understanding that the tobacco age in Alabama is 19.
Well, I'm not saying I condone it
Well, technically, he's a
underage.
council member right now, so we can pretend that he's not.
I'm saying, I'm defending the right of the business owners and the people who choose to smoke e-cigarettes.
Does anyone know what actually is in e-cigarettes?
Vegetable glycerin and propylene glycol, and they say that formaldehyde comes from propylene glycol. Not true, or some people believe it's true because there are studies done outside of the United States that say formaldehyde comes from propylene glycol. But no university in the United States has proved this.
Boatner?
Has it been proven that it is safe?
Obviously, breathing in anything into your lungs that isn't oxygen is not safe. But they're saying secondhand smoke comes from it.
Well, while this whole movement of the e-cig was about having a healthier alternative for people who were smoking, so although there's controversy about the actual benefits of smoking an e-cigarette versus a regular cigarette, we could be deterring people who are actually trying to stop smoking and deterring their business if they don't think that they can have that outlet near the business. Did you have a comment? Or no? Oh, okay.
I mean, by now, they've been out for like 10 years, I'd say. And I think there'd be a Surgeon General's warning if it was that severe.
Boatner?
I don't care if it's a cigarette or an e-cigarette. If I'm walking my kid into a restaurant I'm going to, and some punk blows smoke, at me and my kid, I'm not going to be very happy about it, whether it's harmful or not.
I mean, but technically, an action like that isn't really up to the restaurant owner anyways. It's a person, like, you can't control what everyone does necessarily. Yeah, so, Russo?
Well, I mean, if you're walking into a restaurant, you don't want a drunk person coming up to your kid and breathing on his face or stumbling all over him. That's just almost irrelevant. I mean, it's like you're making laws, it's like morality laws. It's kind of wrong. You're kind of putting it towards some certain group of people. Everybody should have a right to do something, and if it's not harmful and it's not proven, and it's technically proven, but there's no studies in the United States that says it causes secondhand smoke. That's why I'm defending e-cigarettes.
Okay. Let's move on to the next ordinance, number 6. Ms. Akinsanya, please read.
Renovation of Convention Hall. Plans of expansion and renovation of Convention Hall should be a priority to the city. A place to hold larger venues, at least up to 5,000 people, would greatly increase the rental of Convention Hall. It will draw requests for weddings, proms, graduations, and concerts if it was upgraded and modernized.
This ordinance is open for discussion. Ms. Kelly?
Where would we get the money to do this?
I'm just going to say what I said last time. I'm sure we could pull some revenue from some department or something that we haven't used yet, or get granted some sort of money, because this is something that I think we're in great need of. I know as Gadsden City High School students, we always complain to people like Mr. Blackwell about having our graduation in the gym and not in the stadium, or not having a venue for some things that are bigger or nicer or whatever it may be. So if we renovated Convention Hall, it could be a great venue, and we could get more revenue too if like there are weddings and other events there. And like Southside High School and other high schools use Convention Hall for their proms too, so we wouldn't be the only ones using it. So, any other comments? Yes, ma'am.
I would like to say, why don't you all get your parents to push their councilman? We need not only a convention hall renovation, we need a city hall renovation. It can be done through bonds, but you pay for what you get. So I'm saying, you push your parents to push these councilmen. I'm for it. Yay! So I'm saying, everybody, we need a new, nice venue, so push for it. There's money out there. If not, we can just tax e-cigarettes and get them.
Any other comments? No? Okay. Mr. Cross, please read the final ordinance.
Mandatory driving lessons for seniors 65 and up. All senior citizens upon their 65th birthday will be required to take a road test again to maintain their current driver's license. They will have 30 days to have this done. Failure to do so will result in revocation of their current license and driving privileges. For those who have received their license within 90 days prior to this birthday, they will be exempt. We do respect our elders, but just find it difficult to share the road with them.
This is now open for discussion. Ms. Hoyt?
These are our voters, so how do we respectfully approach this to keep them voting for us?
Rudolph?
I say for the senior citizens 65 and up, since we are so eager to move our voters off the road, why won't we create a separate lane for them on highways? Since they drive slower than others.
Yes.
Now, I'm 70 years old. I'm not taking no test unless the 16 and 17-year-olds take it every year.
Yeah. Well, they're.
I agree.
Ms.
I
Kelly.
agree.
Instead of like showing disrespect towards them, maybe if they pass the test, there should be no charge. And that would be one way of helping them.
Because even if we tried to package it respectfully, I don't think they would take it very well. They would probably be kind of mad. So we could make like a compromise and make younger people also do a test more often than we do. Mr. Rudolph?
Statistics show ages 16 through 23 are more aggressive and rage on the road more than our senior citizens 65 and up.
But statistics also show that once you reach the age of 65, your reflexes start to deteriorate along with your eyesight.
Mr. Sinha?
I just drive a little slower.
Mr. Sinha?
Legally speaking, you couldn't implement that because it would violate the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment because it'd be prejudice against the senior citizens. Not only that, but the #1 cause of death for people over 65 is heart disease, whereas the #1 cause of death for teenagers is driving on the road. So why aren't we focusing more on teenage driving ability than senior citizen driving?
Mr. Boatner?
Now, does that take into account for the senior citizens who had a heart attack while driving?
No, it does not.
And possibly killed a teenager?
Okay. I'm making a motion to suspend the rules and vote on this one.
Okay, so if you want to vote to suspend the rule to vote, say yes. Akinsanya,
Yes.
Russo,
Yes.
Boyett,
Yes.
Hogan,
Yes.
Rudolph,
Yes.
Cross,
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes.
Okay, so, I want to adopt the rule?
Yes, let's vote to adopt.
Okay. All those who want to adopt the rule say, let it be known by saying yes. Akinsanya,
Yes.
Russo,
Yes.
Boyett,
No.
No.
no,
Yeah.
Rudolph,
They gonna
No.
vote for me.
Cross,
No.
Kelly.
Yes.
So, the,
It has to be unanimous, right?
so this ordinance has not been adopted and will be
Thrown out. Is there any new business?
None.
Departmental reports.
Hi, I'm with the Board of Education. I am here to inform you on what we have planned for next year for Gaston City High School. Lately, we have been working on getting new tablets for next year's class because most of our classes getting them prepared for college. We understand that they will be doing everything on the internet as for taking classes and doing homework and such. So next year we will be giving our students new tablets, as well as this afternoon actually we have been going to Gaston City High School to be putting Wi-Fi access areas in every classroom because we understand that the Wi-Fi has been kind of dropping off in the areas of the school.
Thank you. Any other department reports? No. Okay. And now we're going to have remarks by the council, and I'll begin. I'm very happy that I got to participate in Youth and Government Day, and thanks to Ms. Hardrick for letting us participate. I learned a lot about local government that I wasn't aware of these past few weeks, and I'm grateful that I got to be the council president and learn so much this week. So thank you, Ms. Hardrick, and all the city officials and the YMCA for this day. Ms. Akinsanya?
First, I want to thank Ms. Katie Hardrick for picking me to be on the city council. And I want to thank each and every council member that showed me exactly what they do on a day-to-day basis. And I really learned a lot about the city government that I really never knew before, and a lot about laws that I've never heard of. So I'm grateful to be part of this experience, and thank you.
I'm just going to repeat what everybody else has already said. Thank you, Ms. Hardrick, for letting us participate in this. It's a good experience to have, and it's nice to learn stuff that you haven't known. And it's really good to, kind of come and be involved in city government, because not enough people are really, or at least not enough people our age stay tuned into it. So thanks for having us.
I want to thank everybody for allowing me to be here, but I learned a lot that I didn't know. Like, I learned why Olive Garden not here yet. And I learned a lot about, because I was wondering why my car kept getting messed up over there in East Gaston, but she said that you can't get new tires or nothing for it, but they said they're going to inform everybody, so I'm proud that they're going to do that. And I learned a lot about what they have to go through to get stuff done, because I'm always complaining about why we don't have this or why we don't have that, but they're actually trying. It's just we're small and we don't have no control over it.
And also, thank you, Mr. Blackwell, for allowing us to participate today. Mr. Rudolph?
I would like to also thank Mr. Blackwell and Ms. Hardrick. I learned a lot about government today, and plus, I like debating. I like to agree to disagree, but I did have fun today because I learned a lot. Because I'm a football player and all I know is football, but it's good learning something new. But I did have fun today. Thank you.
I just want to thank Ms. Hardrick and Mr. Blackwell, and I had fun today, and I learned a lot more than I ever thought I would.
I would just like to thank our city officials for taking time out of their day to help us and teach us things that I think I can speak for all of us we didn't know before this day. So we all really appreciate you taking your time out. Thank you, Mr. Blackwell and Ms. Hardrick. We had a lot of fun in the YMCA.
Yeah, I also want to thank Mr. Blackwell, Miss Katie Hardrick, and the YMCA for letting us come today. And I enjoyed meeting all of y'all and learning what y'all do. It was fun. It was a great experience. So thank y'all.
And we all enjoyed the food.
Would any of y'all, like in front of us, the department? Oh, the mayor also?
Yeah, I just want to thank the YMCA for putting this on, and Miss Katie Hardrick for letting me be the mayor. And I want to thank Mayor Sherman Guyton for taking a little bit of time out of his day to talk to me and tell me some things about the city and everything that's going on. And I want to thank everybody that was involved in this for doing a great job and really putting a lot of time and effort into it. Thank you.
Okay, so now this meeting of the Gadsden City Council for April 21st, 2015 is adjourned.
I tell you, let me just really applaud everybody. Let's give a round of applause for our city council members up here. It was obvious that you put a lot of time into your legislation that you presented. A lot of thought went in there. Did some research. Somebody was quoting statistics a time or two. So I want to really commend you. You had great discussion and a great participation by each member of the council. And so I just want to congratulate everyone on a very great day. We love hosting the students at City Hall. As President Williams said, it's a highlight for our year around City Hall here. And so we hope you enjoyed the day as much as we enjoyed having you. And before you leave, please see me over here. We've got a little memento for you to take with you as you leave, and there's some items in there from the City Council, just a little remembrance of being here at City Hall today. And I believe, were you wanting to get a group picture? So don't leave your spots here until he can get a nice picture for y'all. Thank you.